Welcome to Out of Home Insider, the loudest voice in out of home. It's funny, a lot of people stop and ask me, they say, Tim, what's that mean? What does it mean to be the loudest voice in out of home? A lot of folks assume it has something to do with being louder than other industry trade coverage. It actually has nothing to do with anyone other than the community that is out of home. Whether you're a big operation, a small operation, have unique marketing insights, or a ton of out-of-home expertise, this is a platform to help the community grow, the community to learn. So I invite you to subscribe, follow, share. Please do all those things that help the community of out-of-home grow through this podcast, through the amazing guests that we have. It's all about democratization. And that's one of the reasons I'm most excited to be a part of the team at OneScreen.ai, where we're bringing buyers and sellers together to help brands win. If you want to learn more about what we're doing at OneScreen, visit onescreen.ai. Without further ado, let's go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Out of Home Insider Show, a podcast like no other, hosted by the one and only Tim Rowe. Get ready to have some knowledge dropped on you and to be entertained, because nothing's more valuable than food for your brain. So sit back, relax, we're about to dive in as the best industry podcast is about to begin.
As you can see, I've got the original I Love OOH hat on. That's courtesy of Taste. Yeah, the original I Love OOH. Shane, what's up, man?
Just doing a little work today. It's been busy. We're trying to come up with some new things and market a little more and trying to make it a good year starting out. So.
It's cool. This is how I originally found you. I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but I was just like, oh, there's swag for this. Sweet. Let's go. And then like a bunch of people in the office bought it as like internal, like Christmas gifts and things like that. But for folks that don't know, like, what is Tasty Ad? Like, who is Tasty Ad and what do y'all do?
So yeah, Tasty Ad got started about 2 or 3 years ago. I'd spent about 10 years in out of home working for a mid-sized local billboard company. And we started with 1-2 digitals and then quickly grew, and they've got like 37 now. So having artwork for those digitals was always kind of an issue, because you got to be able to create it quickly. And if the sales team wants some spec ads, they don't want to wait several days to get some artwork to try to walk in and sell somebody. So me and Dave Rowland, who is Rowland Digital Media, the company that I still do part-time work for, we kind of got together and I showed him the idea to kind of automate the ads, if you will, so anybody could create an ad for a digital billboard or a display, and had it developed locally, a company out of Nashville, and it's been turning and burning ever since.
That's awesome. So it's a subscription service that I could sign up for and be able to create spec work like on the fly, pretty much.
Right. You could do it, you could see a new business, now open, you could pull in the parking lot and crank out a few ads,
Right. And it's compelling because if they can see it, it's real. And that's like kind of like a mantra at Tasty Ad, right? Like the creative sells.
Yeah. The finished product or the end product that you're selling to the customer is the ad. So, if you're trying to sell somebody and you're not showing them an ad, you're selling them a ghost. They don't know what they're buying. So you can show them
such a great point.
Yeah, if you can show them something, it greatly increases your chances of making a sale. One of our sales guy who does a lot of spec art, he says, he gets it's probably a 50% higher chance of making a sale if he walks in with a piece of spec art. So
wow, I mean that's a lot, and if you multiply that by every market and every seller in all of those markets, that's significant. That's a lot, but obviously, creative directors don't want you tying up the creative team's hands with spec art all day. How is it generally received internally at like a regional or smaller outdoor company to have a tool like Tasty Ad? Is it generally accepted internally, or do you find it's kind of hard sell?
I mean, we don't really do a lot of marketing for it. Everything's kind of word of mouth.
Okay.
But once somebody signs up and there's a 2-week free trial, we train them a little bit. There's all kinds of helpful ways that they can ask questions while they're doing it. So we kind of baby them a little bit, from the start, and then once they get to know it, they don't seem to have any issues going on and making ads for people. Even some designers use it. I mean, I use it myself if I'm doing spec ads for somebody and I don't want to open up Photoshop and spend 3 hours. I'll open up the ad and I'll spend 5 minutes.
it's like it's Canva, but specifically for digital out of home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty awesome. And I definitely like the idea of selling more space with creative available. Are these, so the ad that I'm able to design on the fly in the parking lot of somebody I'm going in to have a meeting with, that same ad, I'm guessing I could just use it to traffic the campaign if they like the creative enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's approved, we've got 7 different size ratios to fit, I'd say 90% of the inventory out there. So if an ad's approved, you can download it and upload it to, Watchfire, Dectronics, whatever, from Metco, and start running it. So
that's pretty cool. And go over the pricing. You mentioned the 2-week free trial, but this, it's a pretty inexpensive subscription to be able to do this.
Yeah, it's $99 a month for a single user. And if you're an IBO member, we give you a discount. So the IBO discount is $75 a month.
Come on, all day long. Like if I was still selling digital billboards, I would 100% have this, regardless of what the company said yes or no to, because like you just said, it's going to sell more stuff for $100. I mean, do you get a lot of like individual sellers signing up for themselves? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a larger plan if you've got a sales team of 2, 4, 5, 20 people or whatever.
Okay.
You can get the bigger plan, and it's like $300 a month for up to 20 different users.
Gosh, I just want everybody. I want everybody to do it. What are the things, right? So you've built a tool to really simplify digital outdoor creative, but what are the elements that really make effective creative campaigns that work? What, in your experience, what do you think it is, or what have you seen?
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of good ads, but I'm sad to say I see mostly bad ads when I drive by and look at billboards all over the U.S. or wherever.
Our friends at Blip said they reject like 60% of the ads that get submitted. So like clearly there's a delta between good and bad.
Exactly. Yeah. I think a lot of people, I mean, the public, but even a lot of people that are creating a marketing campaign, trying to sell a product or service, they don't understand that, the seconds matter. So you've got to make it as simple as possible, as bold as possible, and with as few words as possible. So I'm going to use, in general, one picture, and that picture I've got to be able to tell what that picture is just by glancing at it. It can't be too busy, or it can't have a lot of going on. You got to have good contrast. So, you don't want to use yellow text on a white background or red text on a blue background. It's got to be very legible, big copy. And a lot of people will try to put too much contact info. So you'll have a website, phone number, address, way too much info. I mean, keep it short, keep it down to 1, if at all, because people are going to Google anyway if they want to find out more about the business. So,
right, just like that one simple, like own that one simple idea. We were driving my son and I the other day. We passed this static poster, and it was a family skiing, and it was like three passes for $119. He's 7, like he's learning to read, right? And he looks out the window and goes, "Dad, that billboard said you can go skiing for $119. I was like, you just read that? He's like, no, it's a picture of people skiing and it said $119. So if like a 7-year-old who's learning to read can understand it, that's usually like a good barometer of pretty effective creative, I think.
Especially if your kids are grabbing the idea and telling you about it.
Right. It's that nag factor. And how important is that in creative? Like oftentimes we think about, that one person that we're trying to get the attention of. In this case, I completely missed it. He from the back seat right now, he's asking us when are we going to go skiing, Dad? When are we going to go skiing? I didn't even see it. So making it digestible for other folks that might be exposed by simplifying it, by having one big, bold idea, not too much text, high contrast, something that's visually compelling and evokes some sort of emotion certainly seems to be the best approach. But you've got a lot more than even just the Tasty Ad product, the platform. You've got a lot of resources for Billboard salespeople. Tell me a little bit more. Like you've got a lot of stuff. I've downloaded and bought some of the stuff. Like what's some of the other stuff that you have available on the site?
Yeah. So on Billboard stuff, we've got just anything that could help a sales or design person in out of home. So we've got sales workbooks for keeping up with like leads and stuff like that. We've got Billboard design sketchbooks, hardcover Billboard idea books with 30, 35 different industries and all kinds of ad ideas for those. So, if you're going to try to sell a bakery or whatever, and you want to see a few ad ideas, you flip to the bakery page and you've got 7, 8 different ideas, for a bakery. And so we also sell some swag on there and mini billboards, our mini digital billboard.
Oh yeah, tell me about the mini digital billboard because that's like the cool. I haven't seen that anywhere else.
Yeah,
how'd you come up with that idea?
Probably 7, 8 years ago. I mean, they roll and they give away a ton of the mini billboards.
Sure.
Those. They were buying them by the case from China, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, I've got a couple shelves. I've got a couple shelves full underneath here for my friends at Circle Graphics. The mini billboards are hot.
Yeah, so I just thought it'd be cool to have a digital version. So I've been playing with the idea forever, and just I don't know. I like to build stuff, and I came up with the pieces, and I had to get some fabrication done, some custom metal pieces made, and then we get the screen and we assemble it here in the US. And so they're pretty cool. I mean, people use those as a sales tool as well. We had one guy that would put spec ads on his mini digital, when he's meeting with a client, and set it down on the desk and it's playing ads.
How smart is that? Like, that's a great use of it. People might look at it and they, it's a little more expensive because it's a digital screen, folks. Like, there's costs associated with these things. But what a great sales tool that would be. Get one of these things, get a subscription to Tasty Ad, be able to do the creative, upload it, and then that's powerful. Right? Yeah. Back to that idea of if they can see it, it's real. Like, that's a really compelling visual, but also as a salesperson, like clearly it demonstrates that you go above and beyond. So there's a lot of value in that. Some of my favorite things from Tasty Ad, like all the infographics and how the medium compares to some other things, like really practical sales tools. Here's how to sell digital out of home versus TV versus radio versus print. Like clearly a lot of time has gone into this, and it's been, I'm sure, a process over the years. Like
10 years of basically compiling information.
Wow.
I mean, when I was working for Roland, as far as like digital artwork goes, there's at least 60,000 pieces of artwork, of clients that we've gone for. It's pretty insane. When you have that many digital boards, the artwork just comes and goes like crazy. And the sales team there, they always go above and beyond as well. So they've got those flyers and infographics, and they're handing out folders with all this information in it,
right.
They've done well because of that. So
I'm sure, because it's something that we talk about as an industry, like education being that big gap, and you've put a lot of resources together that I know at the local level, there's a lot of account executives who would love to have it, but maybe the creative department doesn't have the bandwidth, or it's a smaller company, and you've done a lot of the heavy lifting by compiling that. So I encourage everybody to check it out. I'm going to make sure to link to everything, to Tasty Ad, to Billboard stuff. There's so much there in terms of resources, and he's got way better swag than the Out of Home Insider. He's the original. Lots the baseball tees. I think I'm going to get the baseball tee because I'm a baseball tee kind of guy. Yeah. Shane, what are you most excited for in 2021? 2021, the year that we're in, not the year that we were in.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to, recover from last year, and I think Out of Home is going to be a big part of that. I think we're already seeing some signs that the industry has been growing for years, but I think it's going to really take off this year with different things that are going. I mean, there's all kinds of innovation going on, and I think we're going to see some exciting things. So,
yeah, definitely, that seems to be the consistent thing. Well, I appreciate you coming to hang out. Any parting words of wisdom for the audience at home? No pressure. You can totally pass.
Yeah, let's see. I'll give you a quote from Dave Rowland from Rowland Digital Media. He says, "A sign without red is dead." So. There you go.
There it is. Don't get caught red and dead.
Yeah.
Shane, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you found this to be helpful, please share it with somebody else who you think could benefit. Check out Tasty Ad. Creative sells, and your creative department probably doesn't want to take on stacks of spec work for you. So check out Tasty Ad. Check out Billboard stuff. There's incredible resources there. Even if you're not selling billboards, I encourage you to check it out. All sorts out of home. There's a lot to learn. Make sure to smash that subscribe button down below in the corner, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Shane.
Quarter century, I finally came to my senses. I finally got my hand up on the tinted Benz, kid. I see the world clear through my tinted lenses. With the dream and the drive, the possibilities endless. Now print that, send this all the way to Tokyo. Take a trip down south, down to Mexico. Next stop, Shanghai, the world-class trade show. First class all the way, cause that's how we roll. Yeah, call us the rock star businessman. Rockin' shows, we handle business, man. We got our own future in the palm of our hands, cause divided